Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday night's class. And tonight, what we're going to be covering is I'm going to talk about the announcements, software that we need, as well as what we will cover tonight. All right, so the announcements. Make sure that you practice time management to get, helps if I spell correctly, your work and on time. And read emails and announcements daily because I put a lot of important information out there. Software, Adobe CC 2017. Tonight we're going to be using Photoshop as well as Muse. And Photoshop, and for this class, the web portfolio class, we're going to be going over tonight Photoshop design of web page and how to import the graphics into Muse. All right, so that's what we're going to be covering tonight. All right, so starters, what we're going to do is we're going to start with Photoshop. Now with Photoshop, this is going to be for web design. So it's going to be, you can use 300 DPI, but remember, it'll be broken down to the smallest factor on the screen that's being used, which, granted, a lot of screens are getting up there, so they're at least 300 or if not more, but we still do a lot of it at 72, okay? So File, New. All right, now, you'll notice in here that we have the web designs, which is 366 by 768, 920 by 1080, and there's 4 of them right there. Or you can grab an elegant responsive one, right? Well, we're going to be making our own. Now, a good way to start for most things would be 1280. And I usually put about 920. All right, this way it'll make the page the same size on all of them across the board, okay? And we want it vertical, like this, rather than, mind up here, sorry. And artboards, okay, so we could just create 72 RGB white. Now, we're going to be creating one for Steven Senator, but I'm going to, as you know, make one of my own. And this way you can get used to seeing it so you don't just get stuck seeing the example you have to do as well as the sample that they go over in Linda. All right, and don't color manage. So create. All right, so this is what we come up to, Artboard 1. Now, if you go through the Linda, you will notice that there is a responsive template that they can use. Some fonts used in this missing sync matches, so let's see. We'll just go to that one and resolve. All right. Now, what this does is it creates the parts for each one of them. Notice there's 4 here, all right, 4 sizes. What they've done is, and this goes along with what you'll be seeing there in Linda. You will be, there's a small one, which is 480 pixels and under. It's this one. Here, let's see if we can zoom in and it'll tell us a little bit more. There we go. And actually, this one is 320 and under. Yeah, 320 to 480. And this one's 640. So 481 to 640. 641 to 980, and then 980 plus. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do here now is, this one's really fun. You can actually take this real simply from here. And what I'm going to do is, with this, we're going to zoom in. The background is already there. So if I turn everything else off, my pages are there. All right, so we're going to start with this one. All right, now what I'm going to do, as always, I'm going to go ahead and start and do one for Loki's fire. Okay. So navigation, I've got a drop down. Okay, now the drop down, we can create it here, but it's going to mainly be, well, I'll show you how we use that over there later in Muse. All right, so the navigation for the colors here, well, we're going to open it, and we will start at the top. Background. Okay, notice the background, text, the sections, the boxes. We're going to go through these one at a time. All right, well, let's turn off that bottom one as well. All right, so now what I'm going to do also is I'm going to lock these others. That way, I don't mess with them. Okay. All right, so now, one thing at a time, navigational bar. All right, so the navigational bar, because it's a smart object thumbnail, just double click it. Okay, and resolve. All right, so now we have it. That's the text, right? Well, you notice just by double clicking on it, it brought up all of it. So then the rectangle. Well, let's go and find my colors for Loki's fire. Well, I don't have that. Oh, yeah, I do actually. Loki's fire performance. Now I am missing one color there, but we can add that now. All right, so just double click, and the color for it is straight black. Now notice that that was that one. Okay. Now I don't want that one, so I'm just going to leave it as is for now, because I'm going to make that part over in Muse. But now for this one, all right, and add, fill color, add. There we go. All right, so now I'm starting my colors here. And whoops, brought up Illustrator by clicking on it, because it's actually opening it up. All right, notice, well, that's that. So let's go ahead and just nab that color, and we're going to add that color. Add that color. And add that color. Because I wanted the colors instead rather than the shapes. Now, something to show you here is to delete that, all you do is highlight it, and you could do 3 at once and just click. They're now gone. All right. So now I have my color theme set up. So I no longer need these. All right. Okay, so now my navigation, let's go to this. Here's the icon. Notice it's line by line by line. But since I'm going to be doing that over in Muse, I'm not going to worry about the icon, all right? So we'll just lock it so I don't mess with it. And same with that one. All right, now the word navigate. Well, we're going to double click it and we're going to take up orange. Let's click on the color. So cancel and orange. Come on. All right. Come on, let me have it. There we go. There we go. So now we've got it. Just highlighting it, and I can click on the color I want and see each one of these colors. Orange stands out best. All right, so this is my navigation, but I don't need that word navigation there because the navigation's already there, right? All right, so now let's go back. So that closes that one. Save rectangle 1. All right, so we're going to go save. Notice it automatically saved it there, right? So this template is going to be real simple to use. Next step. So we keep that one on, turn this one on. Well, that's not the next step down. And see, that's the one thing I prefer to put these in the order I want them here. All right, so here, now I have my banner. Well, we double click the banner, same thing. Notice all the text is different, okay? So we're going to go through and there we go. Okay, now text. Since I don't know what text I'm going to be putting in there, I'm going to go ahead and turn these off. But notice there's a rectangle. That's that whole thing, right? There's also a little line right there. So we're going to turn all that off. Now here, all I have to do is double click and notice the colors. And because of this, well, let's make that kind of a darker red. You notice I have two colors the same here. So I'm going to delete one. There we go. That means I am missing one color. All right, now we go back. Close, save. All right, so there's the start of it. Next. No, we're not going to use that one. Notice these are kind of set up backwards of how I do it, but this is your choice, okay? Now we just double click into it. Same thing. And you could find a color, one that you want, all right? Now, right here, this is going to be under that one. So this is where I start putting some of my stuff. So right here, I'm going to be putting a graphic, an image, all right? Well, let's go out. And I'm going to download one of the images. So we're going to stop the share for a second while I do this. And as I'm talking, I'll be going through that to get that share, okay? All right. All right, let's right click And we're going to click Save Image. Breathing. And I'm going to put it into my desktop, into the folder. Okay, so now I'll reshare. All right, so this is where we're at. What I did is I have a folder over here for week 2, and now I've got one of the breathing ones in there. All right, so now what I did there is, let's get rid of that really quick because I tried sliding it over. All right, now, right here is where we're going to put images below it. All right, so the rectangle, well, that definitely gets changed for color. This is going to be off, and this is going to be changed to, double click here, images. Notice it changed there. All right, so the background though, the pink, well, that's going to become black. Whoops. You need to actually click on it and then it'll go black. And then the other one, well, that's going to be black, and then we'll make this one orange. There we go. All right. In fact, that might be too bright, so we'll go with that one. All right, now what I'm going to do, this images, since it may not, you saw the problem when I opened it, how the fonts were not right. Well, so that we make this so it can be read as we want, we're doing the same thing we did with Animate. We're going to take that and then we're creating an image out of it. So what we're going to do is right click, excuse me, go up here to layer, and now we're going to come down here. Where was that again? Now we could convert this to a smart object. So now it's an actual object. So what we're going to do here is call it images.jpg. All right, now I'm going to put 10. Now what that does is it saves it, when this saves it, as the best quality, okay? But that's not going to be this whole thing. So that's just images, text, okay? So now this whole thing, we're going to convert to one image. So images one.jpg 10. All right, so now we're going to close that, save it. All right, see how this is starting to flow. Now you can see that that red and that red might have some issues. So what we're going to do is go back into that one. And we're going to just highlight that. And let's go to orange. There we go. And save. All right. Now it's starting to flow a little better. Okay, so next, now we're going to do the images, all right? So first image. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
How are you?
Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. I'm just going over how we're going to be using Photoshop to create this.
Okay.
All right, so now this here is a template that you're going to be able to get. And just show you the template a little better, we're going to turn everything on. And this is everything, the 4 different sizes, okay? And I've given those sizes at the beginning of class, which the guy also, if you watch the Linda, goes over them, okay?
Okay.
So it's actually emphasized when you go to Linda.
Okay.
All right, so now what I'm going to do is turn these back off so that I could work on just the one. But I've locked those so I don't make the mistake of going into them.
Okay.
All right, now I'm going to actually take a look here really quick. Picture. All right, so I'm going to put a picture in. It's in here because this one, there's a picture. And here, this one's not a picture, but I want it to be a picture. So I'm going to delete that layer. Yes. What I'm going to quickly do, File, Save As, and this is going to be Loki's Fire Performance _ responsive. All right. So now what we're going to do is come back over here since I did delete that and go to right here, and I'm going to File, Place. Excuse me, I'm in Photoshop. Yeah, Place. Place Embedded. Come back here. There's my first one. All right, now we're going to take that and make it fit. So I hold the Shift.
How long you been doing that
What?
with the fire?
Oh, probably about 10 years.
Oh, really? Have you ever got burnt?
Oh, yes. I've actually set my face on fire a few times.
Oh my gosh.
So
I was just curious about that because those other pictures in the other classes that you had,
yeah.
I wanted to ask and see.
If you mess up, and I did, I used the wrong fuel knowing I shouldn't have, and did it when I shouldn't have been, and it came back and set my face on fire.
Ouch.
But I've been lucky twice. I'm not going to push it a third time. Okay, now you'll notice that this one is 320 pixels.
Yeah.
All right, so if we go to Info, we can see the sizes right here. And there we go, it fits right into there. Okay, so next one. Oh, this is where, like I was saying, they did theirs backwards from the way I do it. So, yeah. All right, so now I'm going to actually delete that one. File. And we're going to Place. And let's see, where do I want to go get it? Okay, projects, Loki's Fire. And there's my panda. That's my logo.
Yeah.
So I'll come back and grab that later.
I know you had that for the other classes too.
Yeah, it's my cute panda. And you know what? I don't actually have it here on the desktop anymore. So I deleted that by accident. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out both of these. And this, I'm going to right click, duplicate layer. Okay, and then I'm going to do it one more time. So Command J. Command J. Whoa. Come on. Cooperate. There we go. Really? All right, so there we have it, all three of them. Now, the thing you're going to see in there is basically what I'm going to do is this is going to be breathing 1 dot JPG 10. And this will let the program know when you convert it that you're going to save that as a JPEG. It's going to be breathing1.jpg quality 10. Okay, so this one is going to be breathing 2. And breathing 3.
And all three of them's 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because the 10 just tells you quality 10, where you could go lower, but a lot of these pictures will start to pixelate if you go lower, like 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you could experiment with it. For example, what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and put this one at 6. And then I'll show you something later that's really cool. All right, now this text I no longer need because, well, I'm going to do that over there in Muse. And then the background. All right. So the background is going to be the black. So I'm going to actually make it black instead. Come on. All right, you want to be that way? There we go. And we'll just close it and it saves it as a PSD within a PSD.
Okay.
All right, so there's my page, huh?
I said, okay.
All right, so there's my page, but it's missing my logo. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to put the logo right here. Okay, there's my navigation, second layer. So right there above it, I'm going to place my logo, file. So, and that happens to be what's right here. So I could click it. Oh, come on. Do the shift and drag it in and put it right here. All right, now, that is kind of weird the way that looks. So I'm seeing that that color scheme is not going to work very well. Unless what I do is take this one and make it taller. So image size, and we're going to make it, let's go to 3 inches tall. All right, now we close it and save it since it's in there again. Whoops, I did that backwards. I want tall, not width. So we go back to image size, height. Oh, I've got them locked. That's what happens. So unlock. Now 3.
It didn't unlock. Don't look like it.
It did.
Okay.
Take a look at what we're going to do is let's go back in, image size. Okay, see how there's no lines? Now watch. Now they're
okay,
locked.
I see. Okay.
They've changed it so it doesn't have the chain break. Okay,
Yeah.
so now we're going to save
That's what
that.
I was looking for.
Huh?
I was looking to see the chain break.
Yep, and that's what we all are used to.
Yeah.
All right, now I put my panda there. Well, since that one's on top of it, I actually have to move this down. Then I can put the panda. Whoops. The panda can now go on top of it. Right there. All right, now what do you see there? Can you see the difference in the colors?
Yeah.
Yep, barely. Well, I'm not going to be using this one, so it's not really going to be there in the end.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go into that navigation copy, and this is going away because I don't need it. Now the icon, I don't need that as well. So, come on. And that's the weird thing about this program. You have to delete the inside stuff first. And it helps if you unlock it. Oh, now you can do this. Group contacts. All right, there we go. All right, so let's take a look at what this looks like. And there's our page. Now this here is probably a little tall. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to go down. Text box. The image. Okay, so this image is for the text because I've converted that to an image. We're going to take, and I don't need that. Now, what I could do is put a little panda there, but I'm not going to, so I'm going to delete the parts I don't need. You know what? Let's get rid of that one as well. And this will help it flow a lot smoother. So save. All right, now that image is really small. So what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and redo it so I could show you what I did there. And regular Myriad Pro, let's go to 60. IMAGES. All right, so now we have the images. And it need to go up top because it's going to go right here. All right, now you notice I don't have any of the other pages here.
Yeah.
Well, that's all going to be created later. So right now, this is just a quick to show you what we could do, okay?
Okay.
And when I design the big page, it'll go through everything on how to do the other parts, okay?
Okay.
Now, what we're going to do is basically we're creating a page that just scrolls down. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, now, so this, I need my flyer, my images. Now, watch this. Images. Excuse me. We're going to go up here to layer. I could rasterize the type. Make it a smart object. New layer based slice, which we're not touching anymore. So we're going to go to the smart object. Now let's let rasterize it and show you what happens. Now it's rasterized. It's just an image.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to leave that as is. Now this other one, well, text box, I don't need the text. So we're going to remove the text because I've kind of got rid of that now, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there's pretty much a cool start. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to do the big page. All right, so that's the 320. We're going to now lock it, turn it off. And we're going to turn on this one. This is how we're going to go down the page with everything, all right?
Okay.
Now, you'll notice all the things up here, the title, the words and stuff, all right? So, what we're going to do is start looking what's what. The graphics. The text down below. The background. All right, so let's start up here, the navigation. If I turn that off, that's that whole section.
Yeah.
All right, so could not be, oh, oops, I got to unlock it. There we go. Come on.
You have to unlock the navigation file too.
Yep, there we go. All right, so now, all right, you'll notice all I have is the words here.
Uh-huh.
So what we're going to do is just change that. Home. About me. And it's not a portfolio because this is images. What would it be?
Gallery.
A gallery, exactly. Thinking in web terms. And contact me, so I don't need that one any longer. All right, so now that is going to become a graphic. But first, I want to change it. Now, all I have to do is click on it, and I could change that. The same with the background.
Okay.
Oh, unlocked it. Well, unlocked. Doing pretty good at this today, huh? All right, and then just change that to that. And there we have that. All right, so now the next thing is I need my logo. And I don't like where this is setting. I want to put it over here. All right, and now my logo, well, now what I could do is just go down here and open that original one back up. And I could take the logo, oops, do Command J, and move it out of it. Okay. Now it's way over there, so I just have to drag it over. Or I could just sit here and shrink this down, shift and bring it over. And scoop back in. Okay, there we go. Whoops, too much. All right, so now I can just put, whoa. I want just the panda to move. And there we have it. See how easy that was to put that over there?
Yeah.
Just duplicate it and you have it.
Yeah.
All right, so that looks pretty clean. Well, this, all right, so that takes care of that first part. That's the navigation. This, move that up by the navigation again. And that is going to become orange. And I'm not worried about the text. All I have to do is this. And in fact, the text is gone. And we're going to close that and save. All right, look how big that empty spot is. That's not going to look good, is it?
No, it takes away from everything else.
It does, but now what I could do is all this stuff is going to go down the screen. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or we can actually change that banner so it's shorter, smaller. So we go up to image, image size, and the height, I'm going to take the height down to 1 inch. And just move it straight up. Okay, that's probably going to be too much, so we can take it down to image size. Let's go to 0.25.
That's a gradient, isn't it?
No, it's, oh, it is. That's odd. It's not supposed to, no? That is, it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, it is, because it's darker on the right side than it is on the left.
It is. I think that's because that's part of the template. All right, so now we take a look, and you know, that actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Even with the gradients.
Even with the gradient. All right,
Yeah.
so now.
Because if you look, the left side, your Loki's fire is the
Yep.
same color as the side.
Yeah, but it's darker over here. You're right.
Right.
That is odd. Okay, so now what I want to do is this is going to be the home section. So now we find there's the background. And the background's going to be, let's see, image size. How tall is it? The height, 19. Wow, we don't need that. We probably want it to be about 4. And black background. And we'll grab this and make it go. This is the one thing I dislike about using other people's templates, is because they do things different. So it's a matter of figuring out how to adjust it so it fits right.
I can understand that.
All right, so that's starting to look pretty good. All right, now what I want to do is, this is going to be the home page, the home portion.
Uh-huh.
And the text. There we go. That's going to be my home section. Now, this is blazerobar.com.
Uh-huh.
That's where the template came from. Okay.
Okay.
So and since that's the home, I'm going to actually have a cool picture there instead of text. Okay, so, all right, now, I need to go here. Oh, here, I'm going to add. Well, and we'll actually go down and grab the graphics. Right, let's see, Command J. All right, so now that's going to come up. Now we'll shrink that to fit there. Now, this is now going to be 3, or excuse me, 4. And J. 5. Command J. Because these will be different pictures, actually. And 6. The cool thing is, watch how it sits there and measures the difference out to show that you're equal from all of them.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the home section. Now the about me. All right, so this is going to be, so we're going to copy the banner again, which is that. So Command J. Okay, so that's done. Now, down. Text box. All right. Okay, so we're not going to need that, that, or that. Text box is right there. And the navigation. There we go, background. So I'm going to Command J. Move that down. Okay, this is going to be the about me.
Mm-hmm.
So this box I don't really need. All right, next. Whoa, what did I just do? Oh, there we go. Next, I want to do an about me section. And so it's going to need to be a little bit larger. So we're going to make it larger. 6. Save. All right, and now I'm going to get the text. Okay, this is the About Me section. Now I need to make the text match. So I just highlight it and let's do the orange. There we go. The About Me section's done. All right, but since it's text, well, let's convert it to a smart object or rasterize. There we go. Now it's not editable. It's an image now. All right, and then I need another banner. Okay, in fact, up here instead, what I'm going to do is, so I could show you how to do it over there, these graphics are now going to move down. Since that is going to be the photo section, okay? So what I'm going to do, okay. We want it a little smaller. So layer or image size, and we're going to go back to 4. Save. And see what that's doing because they're copies. They're adjusting each one the same way. So the easy way to do this now would be all right, now this background copy here is gone. But now I could actually make my own. Okay, and I will need a new layer. Select the black. There we go. Command D, unselect. All right, see how easy that was to make my own layer?
Mm-hmm.
So you know how to use Photoshop. You're pretty good at it, right? If I remember right?
Do what?
You're pretty good with Photoshop if I remember right, right?
I don't know. I think so. I'm not sure.
Where's your confidence? I know you can do it.
Yeah.
You've got this. You've got the confidence.
I like Photoshop.
Okay. So you have the confidence. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm leaving this blank because I'm putting a map in that section.
Okay.
All right. Now, all right. So that's the gallery. Now the contact me section. So I need another bar.
Yeah, Photoshop's the one that I did that cube, and I have no idea how I did it.
Okay, so there we have that. I go down, the background. See, there. Then we're going to do another Command J. Whoa. Right? So there's...
Ran away with it, huh?
It did. Now, what I'm also going to do now is take this. Well, we're going to make our own. I'm going to actually make it 1 inch tall. Okay. New layer, orange, and fill.
All right, now look at that orange. It is not gradient.
Nope. And I think what happened is the other one was a gradient, set up as a gradient. If I go into it.
But it looked good.
It does. It fits my design. All right, now what I'm going to do is come here. And we're going to go with black text. And since I know what the black is, now it's a matter of remembering. All right, now you notice I ended up with a copyright symbol. That's what I want,
Yeah.
because this is the bottom. Now, how do you do the copyright symbol? Do you know?
You showed us once, and I don't remember because we were going through the pictures of the copyright.
Option G.
Things.
It's option G.
It's option Z.
G is in golf.
Okay.
Right. And there we have that. Now, again, we want to convert that to rasterize. And it's going to be, I'm just going to put CR dot JPG dot 10, or not dot, I'm sorry, 10. All right, so now there's our site. Now, if I wanted to change these, there's a couple ways I could do it. One of the easiest way, if I wanted to make it so that there was like a mouse over, one of the easiest ways would be come down here, and I'm going to make this picture a mouse over. That one right there.
Okay.
I'm going to Command J and put it behind it. And so this one is seven. All right, now 7, so I'm going to turn 10 off because they're in the exact same place. So I'm going to turn the top one off, and 7, I'm going to filter. Let's go to my filter gallery. Texture, no.
I don't know. The one I like the best is the bubble, the plastic wrap.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
Ooh.
I don't know why, but I think it looks kind of neat.
Believe it or not, you'll get tired of it. And you'll start saying, okay, now what else can I do besides that? Because you know what? That was my favorite when I started too.
What, bubble?
Uh-huh.
I won't ever get to use it because I can't use it on anything for my classwork.
Oh.
They wouldn't let me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, you know what? Let's go to glass. Now we're seeing it through a glass window. Oh, that's pretty cool. But let's do the frosted glass.
Look at your leg. It goes white all the way up to your shirt.
It does.
It looks like your leg is there and there's nothing on your shirt.
Okay, now notice how this is now like this, right?
Uh-huh.
What we're going to do is we're going to rasterize that layer just like that.
Okay.
And see, there's the regular, and there's the other. So this is going to be a mouse over. All right, now what we're going to do, image, excuse me, file. Now you come up here to export, you have all these preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Save As, week 1.
I've already got my file set up too.
Oh, nice. And then we look at all these. We're not doing any of those, but we do need to save that as is before we continue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Command S. Now, generate the assets. Okay, now we're going to go back to that folder. And here's the assets we just made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you see how we did this?
Mm-hmm.
If there's text, you're going to get an error. See? But otherwise, it's going to come out just like this. So now what we do is let's go to Muse. And we're going to set this up. The biggest thing is just set it up. Let's see, we're going to go. That was what, remember what size? 1280.
Yeah.
All right. And the minimum height, we're going to leave. Okay. And okay. All right. So now the master, what I'm going to do is we're going to bring in parts of that. But let's go back and take a look at that. Notice this black, right? Well, these didn't come across. Okay, now, this is where it's really cool. Because, well, let me show you this before we go into the other part. All right. Now, let's go back to that text. That's the navigation. Now, notice how that didn't come across. What we're going to do is right-click. Rasterize. And this is going to be nav.jpg 10. Let's go back here. It's not there. Actually, it is.
Yeah.
It automatically created it because you've already said to do it. Earlier, you know how we said generate? See, it's checked. So it's automatically, whatever we do here is done over in that file.
Oh, okay.
See? And there it is. Now, so now what we're going to do, let's go to Muse, and we're going to bring up my color library. And we want LFP. And let's make it a little bit taller so I get all the colors. All right. Now I am missing one color because there is a yellow that I don't have. But for purposes of today, this is working great. All right. Now, I'm going to do this. Now, notice I did not set up the size, the height.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, what I can do is right-click on this. Notice how it stays. You don't change it. This is all done in pixels, right? So it's best to keep the other. Now let's go back to Photoshop. And the logo didn't come across. All right, so what we want is the panda. firepanda.jpg 10. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is that's going to be the black. And then I'm going to File, Place. And we go to one here, Fire Panda JPEG.
Yeah.
That's how tall we want it to be. So this back one is going to be just like that. Now we're going to go File, Place, the nav. Notice it's got a clear background, right?
That's what I was fixing to say.
So how do we fix that? Well, we go back to Photoshop. And for that, now we want to undo what we did here. So that's just here. Now watch what happened over there. The nav stayed because it's already saved. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't lose it. But now what we're going to do, oops, let's go back to Photoshop, is for that, we're going to double click. Oops, that's not the right one. Okay, there we go. So that, what we need to do is add a background to it. So we do this, and this isn't going to work on any of it, is it?
Mm-mm.
So best way to do this is now we're going to nav. Notice I didn't put the JPEG, so it won't save it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take another layer, put it right behind it. And we're going to fill it with black. Okay, so if I do take this one straight over, it's the black. Now, so I'm going to do a Command E, which merges them. Command E, echo. Now, this is going to be nav.jpg.10. So we go back over here, we delete that, File, Place. Notice it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do? Whoop. Don't put the dot.
Okay.
And we go back, and it's there again. And I
Yeah.
could just grab it from here. Oh, come on, quit. There we go. Notice it doesn't just drop. You'll have to click it.
Yeah.
But see how that fixed that issue?
Yeah, it does.
All right, so now the only problem with that is these aren't individual buttons.
Right.
So that's something we'll have to work on later. But, all right, now remember how I was talking about the navigation and we'd put those bars on ourselves.
Right.
Well, we're going to go here. We're going to do a menu. If we do horizontal or vertical, and those bars would come across. I just want to do it this way for now. So I put this up here, and there's only one page, so it just does the one page. But if there were more pages, there'd be more pages to this link.
Mm-hmm.
And that would actually be attached to the button. So, but I didn't want that. I wanted to bring us across itself this way, okay? So let's go ahead. This is the master. Now we're going to add, but see how I tied those two together?
Right.
Now I'm going to break that. Come on, break. Sibling page. There we go. See how they're not tied together?
Yeah.
Quiet. So this one's going to be, let's see, about new sibling page, gallery, and new sibling page, contact. All right, now watch what happens when I do this. Okay, so now we go back here. So now we're going to delete that. Notice it was kind of broke up, but watch.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to do a horizontal. Take it over. Because they're siblings. See how they did that?
Mm-hmm. I sure did.
And this is where you would click it. All right, now I'm going to bring across that picture. And this is where I'm going to show you how they have a rollover. Okay, so we're going to cheat. Okay, so this is going to come up. It's going to be 0.25, which I don't remember how many pixels that is. And we're going to go to our color library, to the orange. Okay, now the pictures. So I'm going to go file, I'm going to come over here, 6 and 7. And there they both are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember, this is the one that I have for a mouse over.
Right.
Notice I could actually alter this, right? But
Okay.
just by the way it is, it automatically, I don't even have to hold shift for this to stay proportional. This automatically does it. All right, now, so this one, 142, 169. Well, I just click that. 142. Well, I did mess it up somehow. So we're going to go back. Huh?
It was 169.
So we're going to go 142. And this one, same thing. 142. All right. Now, this is behind it. So we're going to switch this around, arrange, bring to front. Whoops. Arrange, bring to front. There we go. Now, all I have to do is, this is where our states come in. For the rollover, this one is going to be off. Come on, turn off. This is not letting me bring it in. Okay, so I'm going to, okay. What we need to do is file, save site as, I call it LFP. Okay, now let's see if I can do this. Assign different states. Okay. Open the states panel by clicking the Windows States. Okay. Select the state that you want to edit and continue styling the object. Well, I'm doing it right. It's just not doing it.
Now, according to that, after you do that, you're supposed to hit fade.
Right, but it's not even showing up here as a trade. Well, I got an idea. Here's what we're going to do to make this even a little clearer. All right, so since it's that one, okay, we're going to take this and we're also going to put, a even more blur on it. There. All right, so there we go. Okay. Now we're going to bring that in. File, place. Open, click. And that's 142. Right, so there's the rollover.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Yeah, see, it's not switching the way it's supposed to. All right. There are other ways to do this sometimes.
Too bad you couldn't do it in animation.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing this there. Whoops. Helps if I save it. The only problem is, now we go back, file, place. All right, where did I save it? But you're starting to see why I like to do it the other way rather than use Photoshop. Okay, now let's go back over. And we're going to go File, Place, and watch what we just did. Come on. There we go. So we just placed that whole graphic. And right here, it's just one image. So this is why I really like to do all my own stuff over here. I could do the graphics and then bring them over and do a lot of this stuff. So we're going to okay. But you're starting to see what I'm talking about though, right?
Right.
And this was working earlier. All right, but now the state of the buttons. Now I just double click, as we showed last night, the state. Down. Okay, so actually the up, I want that to be, go to my CC library. Want the background to be black all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The text. Whoops, that was the background. There we go. Really? There we go. Now that. Really? Come on. It's really being difficult tonight, isn't it?
Huh?
This is really being difficult tonight. Okay. Well, if it's
Yeah.
going to be difficult, we're going to do it this way.
Now, what I was going to ask you,
Hmm.
is it possible that all those are connected and that's why it's going all the way across?
Is it what?
Your buttons are all connected?
Yeah, they're supposed to be. It just wasn't letting me change that.
That's why I was saying.
But did you see how I got around that? Okay,
You know,
let's
I
go
was
back.
talking to you. I was trying to watch it and I saw that you did it, but
Okay, here's what I did. I select the button.
okay,
Now I select the text
right.
by double clicking. It's white, so what I did is I come up here, grabbed this, went over, and I
Yeah,
grabbed by color.
right. With the eyedropper.
And that's how I did it.
Yeah,
So there's, like I said, there's always more than one way if it doesn't want to cooperate.
right.
All right, so now what I want to do is the scrolls, the state of it. Okay, so the down, the rollover, I want it to be, oh, let's see. Let's make it red. And the text for the rollover is going to be black. No, really? There we go. So the rollover, somehow that's gets skipped out of the rollover state. Okay, there we have it. Then a mouse down, it's going to be gray. And the active, we're going to make it black again. There we go. Now we're going to test this. So preview. Yeah, see, for some reason it's not working, but
I did.
that does. The about, the gallery, and the contact.
Mm-hmm.
And I could rearrange these so they fit exactly what I want here now that I've created them over there and saved the graphics.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that's so different is this should not be on that page. There we go. Now, remember what I was showing you last night? Here's what I've got. Here's how it turned out. Here's how it turned out. Really? Where did I put it? Designs, graphic. There we go. Site. Ready. So using Muse, I've got my home, which it's already on. The about, my portfolio, and watch the way that that does it.
And that's neat. Now that's really neat.
Thank you. And then my contact. Now the contact will not work until I actually put it up on the server.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it even says contact there. So we go back into here. We capitalize that. All right, now watch the difference here. File, and we're going to export as HTML. Okay, it's going to give me an error. See, what that says is basically some, because I put a different email address into there,
Yeah.
some of them may not do what I need. But notice up here now everything is what I changed that to up there
Mm-hmm.
in the contact. So to do this, what you're going to do, you're doing one for Stevens Henniger. Let's go into the directions. And I closed it. Sorry about that. All right, so week 1, the assignment. What you're doing is
one for Independent University logo.
right, the Independent University, I'm sorry. And there's the logo.
Mm-hmm.
Export your design as a PDF.
Right.
Name it this, and that's what you're submitting. Well, you're going to submit it as well.
Right.
Now, in Muse, create a design, the master page based on the design you created in Photoshop or Illustrator. So basically, remember how we did the storyboards?
Yes.
You're
Hold on a second, please. I'm sorry, somebody was at the door.
That's fine. All right, so now in Muse, create and design the master page based on the design you created in Photoshop or Illustrator. So you have a choice. Now, Photoshop no longer saves as the web page as HTML.
Yeah.
Illustrator will, but it's a lot better to create it in Muse to do all that, okay? Because as you're seeing in Muse, it automatically does it. So what I'm going to do here quickly, okay? We're going to grab that. And now we're going to do this for Independence University. So we're going to do new site. And what was the width?
20. 80?
1280?
Yeah. Oh, I
Okay,
said
so
2080. Ugh.
that's fine.
Yeah, right.
All right,
That'd be pretty
now,
big, huh?
all right, so what I'm going to do is this. See, all that is a mock-up, okay?
Right.
And you saw that it doesn't like to cooperate to bring it over. And
Yeah.
that's why they say just go ahead and make it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to open the master. I'm going to take this, drag it in, and drop it. All right, so here's the logo. That's going to go right there.
Mhm.
Now, we're going to create a section. And you'd lay this out in Photoshop or Illustrator. And then you're saving it as a PDF and submitting that. Then you're going to step 2. All right, now, the colors. Just grab this. And we're going to grab
That's what I did.
that blue.
Mm-hmm.
So you've already started this.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Did you get this started last time?
Yes.
Ah, okay. And now what I want to do down here at the bottom is do another white one. So I'm going to leave it as is.
Okay.
All right. Come down here. Do my box. Option G. All right, so I want to make that larger. So we're going to go to 24. Oh, that works good.
Bigger than the independent university.
It is. So that's probably too big in reality. So what we're going to do is we're going to this down, and we're going to take that down.
I thought, according to the assignment, we had to do another logo for it.
No, you don't have to make another logo. You use the logo that's there.
Okay.
And we're, you know what, instead we're just going to shrink this down. Because that should never be larger than the logo.
Right.
All right. And that logo is pixelated. All right, so let's see. Now we're going to close the master. And we're going to create a home page. New sibling page. About. New sibling page.
It's supposed to be about
Offered.
yeah, for for graphic design.
Huh?
It's supposed to be for graphic design.
It is, but I'm not doing that intentionally because I don't.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just
Oh, okay.
kind of reminding myself that that's what it is.
Got it. All right, so there it is. Now I come back to here, open that one, widget. Okay, now I'm going to show you.
Okay.
And you do not have to, remember how I was saying last night, you could go get these third party and all that?
Right. Uh-huh.
Well, You don't have to do that this week.
Okay.
What you have to do this week is, well, we'll get into that in a minute. So first, we're going to do forms. You know what? That button. There we go. And then I can import, delete, delete, file, place, breathing. And this is how you'll create the buttons. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can do it this way with the menu. And we're going to go ahead and do vertical right here. All right. Now I want the background to match this. Well, we're going to go ahead and do the red. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But to do that, what I'm going to do is grab that. This doesn't need to be that wide. Range, send to back. There we go. And there's my buttons. All right, now the buttons. So we're going to go here to the states. The background is going to be this color. The text is going to be this color.
It's hard to breathe.
It is. Believe it or not, that is the colors of the school.
Yeah.
But to make this easier to read,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, just put it right there, move the buttons over just a little, and leave that white, just like that. And see how hard that is? I could also do it this way. But there's many ways to lay this out, as you know. Now, if I go to here, what I can do is take these buttons and go back to the states. All right, so now it's going to be, instead, it's going to be white. So all we have to do is come up to here, select the white. Now that's really clear. And because they're all so small, all we have to do is just scroll this in. And this, go in a little further. Now, see how that's starting to throw off your eyes?
Right.
So that's something you have to watch in your designing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how would I fix that? Well, I could take this to here, this to here. Got that right there. this. Now go to here. And see how that's hard to make those buttons work on the side? That's
Yeah.
something I've never really cared for, to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
to create, because to me, I've always had that hard time. So this is why I've always done it like here. All right, so this now goes to there. This will go to just right there. This will go to there. And in fact, what I want is we're going to copy that. I'm going to put it right here as well. And this one will go to right. I can actually move. There we go. States the buttons. Color is going to be white. Now the text is going to be red. That makes that stick out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the rollover, instead of a gray, we're going to do the blue. Mouse down. We're going to go back to white. And active is going to be white as well. Okay. Now, so that closes that. All right, so I have each of these working now.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is now we're going to preview. About, the home, programs offered, and contact us. Notice this big space. Well, why is that big space there? Cancel. Let's go back to here. And this is only that tall. So what I want to do is go back to File, and I want to Site Properties, minimum height, 960.
That's what I was going to say.
Now, see how big that is? Well, that might or might not be too much. We'll find out. So this goes here. And these, I'll go down to here. So now,
You need to do the other side.
yep, you're right. But we're going to do a quick preview.
Probably work better that way.
Huh?
I said it probably worked better that way.
It's a little too tall. So we'll go back into here. And go to Site Properties. So 960. Let's go to 900. Now this and this are too tall. This needs to go down to there. This comes back up so it's in there again. Close that. Go to Home. And now we're going to Preview. And there we go.
Yep. That looks good.
So that's a good way to do it. And you're seeing how to make this work. Let's go back to the directions. Okay, so name your page your home page. Create the second page. Name it Degrees. And we're going to return to this page in week 2. So we're building onto this, okay?
Right.
Create a header and include the logo, which we did. Add an interactive menu and add different color states, which I did. Include a footer from your design mockup using public domain images for your own or your own images. Locate 4 images of adults working with computers. And you know where to get those.
Mm-hmm.
These images should connect viewers to the topic. Download this text to use on the home page. Name your Muse file this. Okay, so I'm going to copy that, go back over. And I'm going to File, Save As, Save Site as IU. Now notice that's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Submit both part 1 and part 2. Remember, part 2 is the PDF you save from creating that layout.
Right.
So do you see how much easier it is rather than create it in Photoshop and bring it over? You can do that, okay? But to me, I prefer to do it all over here.
Yeah, it makes it easier, I think.
And I'm leaving that up to you. As you go through, Linda is going to talk to you and tell you, though, of how to do it with Photoshop, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that brings us to the assessment. This is where the widget comes in. You're going to use a slideshow. Slideshow using images. Okay, so for this assignment, you will select a slideshow slider and a third-party plugin to add to your homepage. Okay, now when we're talking about the third party here, what they're talking about, we're going to go down and come over here, widget, scroll down, social. All right, now I'm going to put a Facebook like. Like, standard light, current, and then you're going to put the page. For example, if I was doing this, it'd be it helps if I don't put those spaces there.
I should say that.
Okay. And you can show the faces if you want. Now notice it doesn't show up there. And show the send button. That is what they're talking about here on the third party, okay?
Uh-huh.
And, or I could put Google Maps. Now, this is fun because, see this address?
Uh-huh.
Well, that takes you to Adobe. All right, let's go to the Independence University. All right, now we want to go to the contact us. See, you can even go look at this and get some ideas of what they did. They used a gray.
Mm-hmm.
But see how they do these? You can actually go out and get those as well. But that's up to you. These are a certain font style that you can get for Photoshop and then just save it as an image and import it. You saw how I brought that in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so it'll talk to you about that if you want. Now, let's see. I want the contact. Let's call us. So let's see. There is no. Independence University address. All right, there we go. So we're going to take this address, copy it. Do this drop down. Okay. Paste. And it's looking, and there we have it.
Yeah.
So that's what they're talking about. Now, you could even change this to a hybrid map. Satellite. And even the terrain. Now, granted, for something like this, you're going to probably just want a road map.
Right.
Zoom level 12, you could change this. Bigger, smaller. Let's put 30. So it starts closer in.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to 12. You could adjust this. Make it the size you need it. All right, now, come on, save. And I think I'm running out of memory.
No, you're running out of
I'm running out of powder.
It's only on 7%.
Well, 7% will last me probably
Right.
another 10 minutes. Okay, but it is actually also running out of memory because I haven't restarted it today. Now we go back. Now watch as I test it. Where'd that go down there? Okay, so we're going to put that one back in. Facebook follow. And let's do a Facebook like. Okay. So save it. And now bring this up and preview. and I click on it, nothing happens because I'm not in a browser. All right, and that's working.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so do you have any questions?
Not right now, I don't.
Okay. Well, if you do have any questions, let me know, and we could probably schedule something for maybe Sunday.
Okay. All right.
All right, so there's no questions?
Nope, not right now.
All right, then that's going to end class for tonight. Thank you for coming, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Well, thank you. I got to go put my discussion in.
Okay, I look forward to seeing it.
Okay. Bye. Talk to you again Tuesday.
Yep. Oh,